we have been blessed with COVID-19 time that we have been getting so much of knowledge. Knowledge without practice is not going to take us any far. So it is very important that we work from all the aspects to experience elevation, to promote ourselves. And we are capable of that, and Maula's immense duashes are with us. Zikr abundantly, watching our deeds, seeking true knowledge. Individually sitting and doing zikr. When we do zikr sitting alone, we have to practice Giriya Awzari. Now, how do we practice that? It's a difficult situation. Like, how do we do that? There's a simple way of doing it. Start talking to Maula Baba. Sit in your peaceful place, do some zikr, and try to connect with every zikr. You say it from your heart, from inside you. And then whatever comes to your mind, whatever your issues are, whatever your troubles are, talk to Maula Baba. Have a conversation. Imagine him in front of you. Speak to him. Tell him everything. Don't hide anything. If you are able to connect and if you are meeting all the prerequisites, there will be tears in your eyes. There will be tears in your eyes. When one has tears, it is the beginning of you observing your own self, the transformation, the beginning of a spiritual science experience in your own being. When you have conversation to Maula Baba, tell him everything. Whatever physical, worldly issues you have, Maula Baba has said, if you will not tell me, how would I know? Tell him every bit of it. Whatever you feel, talk to him. When you're done with the physical, worldly things, because it's a burden. If it's on our chest, it has to come out. Talk to Maula Baba. When you're done with your physical things, then talk to him about spirituality. Think of all those beautiful ginans our peers have written. And then ask him, Ya Maula, you have made this farman that we can become like peer. I don't see myself getting to that level. Is it possible for me, Maula? I am sure it is possible for me because you say it, Maula. I don't see any capacity in me. I have no ability. I don't see that, Maula, I can elevate myself to that level. But you know what, Maula? I believe you. I know if you see me with your light, if your Nur-e-Nazar is on me, Maula, I can surely experience all the miracles of you. Ya Maula, you have said that we need to cry, we need to do Giriya Awzari in seeking your Didar. There is a beautiful story about Hazrat Yahya alayhi salam. Hazrat Yahya, John the Baptist, cousin of Hazrat Isa, Jesus. It is said, it is mentioned in Pir Pindiyat Jawamardi, in which Maula says that Hazrat Yahya used to do a lot of Giriya Awzari. And angels were listening because a moment when he or she does the Giriya Awzari, all the cells are awakening. All the angels are visiting that moment. And those angels take the request of that moment who is doing Giriya Awzari with pure heart, meeting all the prerequisites. And they take all the guzarish, all the request, pleas of that moment to Maula. So same thing happens to Hazrat Yahya alayhi salam. These angels go to Khudawand Ta'ala and they say, Ya Khudaya, this moment of yours is shedding tears day and night, Mola Bapa. Why don't you give it to him what he's asking? So Mola Ramat Rame, right? Mola says, go and ask him, what does he seek? So angels go to him and they ask Yahya, Yahya, why are you shedding so many tears? What do you want? And he says, I want the didar of my beloved. So these angels take this plea, this request, and they go to Mola Bapa. That Mola Bapa, he just wants your didar, Mola. Please give it to him. He's really, really giryan. And Mola says, tell him to shed more tears. Tell him to shed more tears. If he wants to see me, he has to shed more tears. Now some, when listening to this story, might feel that, oh my God, Mola is merciful? Yes, he is merciful. When as a Mu'min is Salik, when we start shedding tears, let's say today all we sit down and do Girya Awzari, and we start shedding tears. And we may say, Mola Bapa, I want to see your didar. Do we think we'll get didar just like that? No. There are darjat. We have awakened one cell, not our whole being. It's a process. It requires time. Cell by cell by cell. And remember, we did Girya Awzari, let's say we sat down, we did zikr for 30 minutes and then we got up and got into doing things of worldly things. And if we forgot and we start committing sins, Shaitan is mal luti leche. All the earnings, he takes it away. And we lost what we earned. That cell which was awakened starts dying again. Because Shaitan takes over that cell. This is a war we are in. It's a war with our nafs. That's why this needs to be done consistently. The more we do, the more we understand how to stay giryan all the time. There is a verse in Quran which says that Hazrat Ibrahim used to sigh all the time. In his heart there was a dialogue of Girya Awzari consistently on. Ya Mawla, I seek you. Ya Mawla, I seek you. I'm looking for you. And with that emotion, that feeling, he was sighing all the time. So it is possible to do Girya Awzari at a higher level all the time. It's all possible. So we cannot expect if we do Girya Awzari once, we'll see miracles. Yes, we will see. It happens with time, meeting all the prerequisites. Mawla is so meherban. When Mawla said to Yahya, you have to do more Girya Awzari. Because where Mawla wanted to take Hazrat Yahya alayhi salam, it's known by Mawla. Whatever tests come in our life, whatever sorrows, difficulties we have, they are all tests to take us to that path. If we are knowledgeable, then those tests become blessing. And it takes us to that level where Mawla wants us to be. Remember, the soul in us is the child of Imam. And Imam is waiting for us to be one with him. Sometimes we think that we will fly and be one with Mawla. In reality, if we are purifying ourselves, doing Girya Awzari, becoming Mu'min Salik, he comes to our being. And he has said it, I do not like to live anywhere else, but in the heart of Mu'min. So if anybody asks, what is the delay or what is hindering me? It is within us. All this knowledge has to be applied practically daily. Otherwise, it will take us to vanity. It is very important to make this a practice. So let us do some zikr together and do some dua. And I hope that this demonstration will help us to practice individually, daily at home, because we need to have knowledge, we need to have Girya Azari, Ilmu Ibadat, Zikru Ibadat and Amal with Girya Azari, Ilmu Amal. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ali Allah Madad Farma. Ya Mawla, today we learned about this zikr, Al-Hay, which means you are living, Mawla Bapa, and you can bring life to us. Ya Mawla, we want to experience all your miracles, Mawla. Ya Mawla, you are living and we are dead, Mawla. We are ashamed of ourselves, Mawla. Truly ashamed of ourselves, Mawla. We have wasted too much of time, Mawla. Now we do not want to wait. We want to run, fly and come to you, Mawla Bapa. We wish we had wings, Mawla. So we could have flown and come to you, Mawla, the way our peers have told us, Mawla. Ya Mawla. Ya Mawla, we will collectively do this zikr with closed eyes, seeking you, Mawla, praying, wanting each cell in our being to come to life, Mawla Bapa. Al-Hay, 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 Al-Hay. Ya Mawla, I have been busy. I have been busy in my worldly life, taking care of family, working, making this worldly life successful, Mawla. I have wasted too much time, Mawla. Forgive me, Mawla. Forgive me, Mawla. Bring me to life, Mawla. Al-Hay, 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 Al-Hay. Ya Mawla. Ya Mawla, where was I, Mawla? Why am I away from you, Mawla? Why didn't I seek this knowledge before, Mawla? I feel ashamed. Why didn't I do zikr in abundance, Mawla? I feel ashamed. Ya Mawla, I have been going to Jamaat Khana, but physically, Mawla, I have been following Jismani Deen, physical Deen, Mawla, without awareness, without knowledge, Mawla. What did I do, Mawla? What did I do, Mawla? Forgive me, Mawla. Mawla, I realize my sin. I realize my sin today, that I have been going to Jamaat Khana without understanding, Mawla. Without your recognition, Mawla, who you are, Mawla. Al-Hay, 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 Al-Hay. Ya Mawla, Ya Mawla, when will I wake up, Mawla? Ya Mawla, when will I see your Didar, Mawla? Ya Mawla, you have given us so many duashis, Mawla. What is wrong with me? Why don't those duashis work for me, Mawla? I know, Mawla, it is all my fault. Ya Mawla, it is all my fault that I am not Farman Bardar, Mawla. I am not Farman Bardar, Mawla. I love this world too much. Ya Mawla, Ya Mawla, Ya Mawla, mercy. Mercy, Mawla Bapa, mercy. Rahm, Mawla, you are Rahm Rahman, Mawla. Ya Mawla, mercy. We beseech you, Mawla. We plead you, Mawla. Madad Farma. Madad Farma. Al-Hay, 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 friends who are online, Mawla. I am trying to become their voice, Mawla. We are all trying to connect as one soul, your children, Mawla. In representation, Mawla, I speak on behalf of them, Mawla. Ya Mawla, we are ashamed. But Mawla, you have told us to be happy, to be positive, to have hope. So we are happy, Mawla. We are shukr guzar. We have no complaints, Mawla. We have no complaints, Mawla. We are shukr guzar from my hair, from the head to toe, Mawla. We are shukr guzar, Mawla. Shukr guzar. We have no complaints, Mawla. Ya Mawla. We are grateful, Mawla, for all this knowledge and learning, Mawla, understanding of zikr, ilm, ibadat, Mawla. We are very grateful to you, Mawla Baba. Ya Mawla. Now we want to work on it practically. We do not want to waste our time, Mawla. Ya Mawla, please, Mawla, continue to bless us with your mercy and du'ashis, Mawla. You know, Mawla, we are very sinful, Mawla. We forget. You forget, Mawla. Be a reminder, Mawla. Be a reminder to us, Mawla. Help us, Mawla Baba. If you want, Mawla, we will all be blessed with your batini and nurani didar, Mawla. Ya Mawla, this humble servant of you, Mawla, prays in your court on behalf of all the friends online, Mawla. First, we will pray for alam insaniyat. Ya Mawla, humanity is going through with this COVID-19, Mawla. It has created a lot of problem, Mawla. Lot of loss, Mawla. Mawla, we know. We are very blessed, Mawla. We are not complaining, Mawla. Ya Mawla, you can mushkil asan for the humanity, Mawla. Mushkil asan for the Jamaat, Mawla. You have blessed us, Mawla, in this time, Mawla. We are amazed. It's a miracle. It's a Qiyamat, Mawla. How do we say, Mawla? What do we say? I know not, Mawla. I just feel shukr guzar, Mawla. Just let us follow your lead, Mawla. Guide us, Mawla, so we know what to do, what to seek, Mawla. Ya Mawla, mushkil asan for whole Jamaat, Mawla. Ya Mawla, तो तमाम जमात की नेक उम्मीदों को पूरा कर, मौला. या मौला, जो भी बीमार हैं, तकलीफ़ में हैं, मुश्किल में हैं, मौला, उनकी तमाम मुश्किल को आसान कर, मौला. जमात को हकीकी इल्म से रूशनास करा, मौला. या मौला मेहरबान, या मौला मेहरबान. ये तमाम साथी जो लाइन पे मौजूद है, मौला, इनकी हर मुश्किल को आसान करना, मौला. इनकी नेक उम्मीदों को पूरा करना, मौला. इनके दिलों को देखना, मौला. इनके दिलों में जो जज्बात है उसको देखना, मौला. या मौला, हम तमाम चाहते हैं, मौला, तेरे दीदार को पाना, मौला. तेरा दीदार इनायत हो, मौला. मुश्किल कुशा मुश्किल की आसानी हो, मौला. और मुश्किल तो यही है, मौला, कि हम रूहानी तौर पर बीमार हैं, मौला. रूहानी शिफा चाहिए, मौला. या मौला मेहरबान, या मौला मेहरबान. ओ मुश्किल कुशा, मदद फरमा, मदद फरमा. अल्लाहुम्मा या मौलाना अंतस्सलाम व मिनकस्सलाम व इलैका यरजउस्सलाम. हयना रबना बिस्सलाम वदखिलना दारस्सलाम. तबारक रबना व अलैत या जल जलाली वल इकराम. अल्लाहुम्मा या मौलाना मिनका मददी व इलैका मुतमदी. इय्याका नअबुदु व इय्याका नस्तईन. या अली बिलुत्फिका दिरकनी. ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह मुहम्मदुर रसूलुल्लाह. अलीयुन अमीरुल मोमिनीन अलीउल्लाह. मौलाना शाह करीम हुसैनी अल इमाम अल हाज़िर अल मौजूद. अल्लाहुम्मा लक सुजूदी व ताती. शुक्रन लिल्लाहि वल्हम्दुलिल्लाह. शुक्रन लिल्लाहि वल्हम्दुलिल्लाह. शुक्रन लिल्लाहि वल्हम्दुलिल्लाह.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah, Shukranallah, Alhamdulillah. What an amazing Giri Azari. May Mawla accept your Giri Azari in his holy huzur. So, Appa, I don't see any questions in the chat room. If friends have any questions, please send it in the chat room. If friends would like to ask any questions, they can unmute themselves.
I have a question, please. I have a hard time shedding tears. So even though I'm in a lot of pain and suffering, I am so desperately wanting tears to just roll down my cheeks, like drench my whole face with tears, tears, tears. And I pray for that, but they just don't come out. So what does that say about me as a soul, as a, am I so sinful that what would seem like simple to get tears don't come down through my eyes?
My dear sister, I gave the example of Hazrat Ibrahim. I gave the example of Hazrat Ibrahim that he used to sigh. When I hear your voice, I hear Giryazari in your voice. It is not easy for some people to physically shed tears, but their heart is full of Giryazari. We all are different people. I hear Giryazari in your voice. You don't have to show me your tears. It is a difficult task, my sister, when you take this khidmat, you have to come online and demonstrate. It is not easy to do Giryazari. You are already Giryan. You told me that you are in difficulty, so you have pain in your heart. You are very close to Maula Bapa. If you are not able to shed tears physically, it does not matter. You are shedding tears constantly within you. There is no place for any guilt. Be happy and stay connected to Maula. Follow the knowledge classes and follow what you are learning. You will find peace in your heart. There is no place for any smiley moment to be guilty. Yes, we can be ashamed of ourselves. There's a difference. I feel ashamed of myself. Let me tell you about me. I've wasted a lot of time and I do feel ashamed, and I complain to Maula Bapa that I am ashamed, and I say it, and I don't feel embarrassed to talk about it because I am ashamed of myself. And you are my brothers and sisters, like-minded friends. We are united in one goal of being close to Maula Bapa. So I'm able to share comfortably with you that I'm ashamed of myself, but I'm not guilty. There's a difference. When you feel ashamed about something, you work on it. Guilt is a weapon of Shaitan. Shaitan does not want us to progress. Remember, he does not want us to progress. So we will have to be very careful how we think. The power is in thinking. The knowledge gives us the ways how to think. So you can say, I am ashamed that I am not able to shed tears, but I feel in my heart so much of Giryazari, so much closeness to Maula Bapa. Now that is totally different the way you said it. And there's nothing wrong about it. You're saying just what I'm saying. I am ashamed of myself. So we are together, you and I, my sister, ashamed of ourselves. But we are trying to learn, improve. Alhamdulillah, he is Mehriban. His name is Rahim or Rahman. We have to remember that. I hope I've answered your question.
Yes, you have. Thank you, NIAMAT.
Shukran.
Appreciate it.
I have a question. In your earlier message, you just said that, we have to pray to Mola and ask him, but doesn't Mola know all our supplications, what we're asking him? Because I do feel like the earlier lady that just said, at times you pray and you feel that, where am I going wrong? Why isn't Mola answering my questions? Like, I'm doing something wrong? I try to help you. I try to do all the good things I can in my life, but still I feel there are obstacles on the way. And Mola knows everything, so why don't we progress? Is this something that, taking me back or something like that?
I have already answered this question in Giryazari. So I have answered your question in my Giryazari because this is very common question. And the simple answer is, we need to seek true knowledge. It is only through the knowledge we will be able to identify where we are lacking. We think that we are doing everything. Very humbly, I would say it's not true. You know why? Because if I don't even know the true knowledge, how would I know what are sins and what sin I'm committing? And I mentioned something in my Girya Uzari, and with Maula's mercy, I'm going to repeat. We don't even recognize Imam. We do not recognize Imam. We know of Imam. We do not recognize Imam. When we do not recognize Imam, how are we able to connect to Imam? Imam's recognition is a crucial thing. Imam in his Golden Jubilee told us to recite standing up Hadith Saklan, Ayah Noor, with the hope that we will pay attention to it in his Golden Jubilee. And we have now celebrated Diamond Jubilee, where he gave us the title of Thy. We very happily talk about, oh, I'm Mukhi, I'm Mukhyani, or whatever, Kamadiani, this council member, this, that member. I have not heard people being proudly talking about, Maula has given me this title of Thy. Why Maula is blessing us with such a treasure and gems and we are not paying attention to it? We need to seek knowledge to understand what Imam is telling us. Until we will not understand his farmans, Quran, Ginan, we will not understand his blessings. We will not. We have to read our books of our Buzurgwar-e-Deen. If we are not able to do that, then attend classes like this, and then it is simplified in these classes. Whatever is being taught has to be reviewed, chewed again. Discuss among yourselves, write it down, take notes. We have to work for this blessings to become part of our life. And just take example of worldly life. If someone here is, let's say, 50, 60 years old, and that person has worked so hard to build businesses or franchise or whatever you are, whoever you are, apply it to yourself in your own context with your own example. How many years of worldly studies or worldly work, how many hours of it you put in? So today you are successful, you are settled, and you are happy. And then compare it with the hours you have invested in building your spiritual life. I'm not talking about following physical deen. Physical deen, Imam has actually said it's like following religion like monkey. Monkey see, monkey do. Very harsh for man. But it is true about us. We have followed our faith as blind faith. Because our parents did it, we are copying them. It is high time to invest our time and energy. Imam has created this COVID-19, this virus, to stop us all from whatever we were doing. Affect our life in such a way that we have kind of stopped. Forcefully we have paused and seen, what am I doing? Why am I doing? We need to intentionally pause our physical lives, our physical thoughts, worldly things, and look into ourselves, learn this true knowledge to recognize the Imam of the time. If we do not have true knowledge, it is difficult to get progress only by zikr and ibadat. I hope I have answered your question. Any more questions, friends? Malay Madad.
I had a question that, you were saying that we have to put more time. So knowledge, we're going to get knowledge from, is it Farman is enough to read Sultan Muhammad Shah's Farman, Hazimam's Farman, or any?
So I'm very happy to hear that you are reading Sultan Muhammad Shah's Farman, and I am sure that you are following those Farmans too. And Maula in his Farman says, read Quran, read Ginan, read the books of Buzurgwar Deen. Imam's Farmans are there about these things. So if you are learned and you have read Farmans, I feel I'm finding myself not capable of answering your question, because you already know Imam's instructions which Imam has given in his Farman to read Quran and Ginan and Farman. So in other words, I cannot be selective to what I like, and I leave it what is difficult for me. A Mu'min is not scared of difficulty because Mushkil Kusha is with him or her. If Mushkil Kusha is with us, no literature will be difficult for us, or he will make it easier and give it to us. We got to attempt it. So it is not me who's saying it. It is Sultan Muhammad Shah who's saying it, that we need to study Farman, we need to study Quran, we need to study Ginan. We cannot leave anything. Yes, some would come easier to us and some would be difficult. If I have been comfortable reading Farman till today, I think it's high time for me to pick up Quran and study that. I hope I have answered your question.
Sorry. Quran, if we read Quran, we can read the translation, but the actual meaning is hard to understand.
True.
We try to read the meaning too, but we cannot understand the actual meaning of the Imam was trying to say in this Quran.
Subhanallah.
So
I applaud you for your effort. Alhamdulillah that you're reading translation. I would say keep attending these classes, and when you listen to these classes, make notes or listen to recordings and try and refer back to Quranic verses which we study in class. So at least those Quranic verses, you understand it more than the translation. You hear the ta'wil of these translation. So you'll be able to learn that. Remember, step by step. But we have resources available. We do need to do personal search. There's a lot of literature available from our Buzurgwar Deen. We have to pick different books and study that.
Thank you.
Alhamdulillah. Any other questions? And you can join. So I see now one question just now. What is the difference between Firishta and Malik?
It is a difference between Farishta and Malaik.
Persian is Firishta, Malaik is in Arabic. So it's all languages. Remember, we from Arabic came Persian, and from Persian is Urdu. So sometimes we listen to these terms which are similar, we get confused, but this is all one actually. Okay, another question. Difference between Azadi and Fana.
I don't know, is it Ajizi or Fana?
Is it Ajizi? I'm not sure.
Because I requested
Azadi and Fana.
It is Azadi.
Okay.
Yeah, because I remember this word, actually you're picking it up from Farman, because Maula talks about agar mar ke bhi azadi mein na pahunche to kya. So azadi word means freedom, to free yourself, and fana means to merge, to annihilate yourself into Maula. So to free yourself, it's like you get freedom from some cage, kaid khane se azad hona. That cage is our body, and our soul is confined in this cage, and Maula says, Azadi mein pahuncho. Free yourself. Maula is talking about flying your soul out of your body so it can merge with Maula, which is also fana. But when we talk of Azadi, freedom, actually Maula is drawing our attention to higher stages of fana. When a Arif gets merged in Mawla, let me first describe the word Arif. Arif means the one who has marifat. So we have been calling ourselves Mustajib or Mu'min Salik. We all are on this path to become Arif or Arifa, the ones who have recognition, who has marifat. And Arifa, when she is able to get her soul out of her body, she is flying, merging herself to Mawla, then what? She's not dead, she's alive. She was able to brought her soul out, but she's still alive. What will happen to her soul? Now what is her duty? Her soul comes back to her body, but it is free soul, meaning that Arifa or Arif has conquered that skill, that spiritual elevation, that she or he is able to get her soul out of her body and bring it back. Now, if our destination is fana, then that person has to be dead. There's no reason to stay alive. Destination has been reached. But when Mawla specifically has used this word azadi, what after that azadi? What happens? So there are terms. After fana fillah comes ser fillah. After fana fillah comes a term ser fillah. You travel in Imam, meaning that Arif or Arifa is back in this world and doing the work of Imam. The Arif-e Kamilo Mukammal, Arif-e Kamilo Mukammal, the Arif who is complete, who is Imam, has the power of traveling into souls of others to help them elevate themselves. And I quote this verse 6/122 here. So when Imam is actually talking about Azadi, Imam is telling us to think of higher stages, higher than fana. Again, this may not completely help you understand, it's a concept. I would recommend you to continue to attend classes because you are very, mashallah, abreast with farmans. If you were to now study Quran, you will be able to understand farman. This is a beautiful example for all of us who just focus on farman. When we only study farman, we will have difficulty to understand the delicacies. Like this term, it's such a beautiful question. I'm so happy and glad that you asked this question. How do we differentiate between the word azadi and fana? And Imam talks about it as if it's the same thing, but it's not same. How do we understand? So thank you for asking this question, because this question is answered, these terms are answered, or we can understand it better with the help of Quran. And it is a journey. This is a path we all walk on step by step to continue to learn. We've been studying Farman, now we need to pay attention to Quran so we can complete this learning and understanding, which will change our hearts, which will transform ourselves. Alhamdulillah.
Appa, there is a question in the chat from NIAMAT. She's asking, besides engaging in ways to advance ourselves spiritually, what can or should we do when our children fall out of their faith and get caught up in the academic world?
So when children are young and they are busy in their school and studies, I would say parents have to be role model, remind them. Practices have to be there at home to help them remember that it is not them. I recall another friend who had asked me the same question. Her child was such that I do work hard and I get my results, so it is only me who's doing everything. I don't need to pray or anything. So it's the effect of this worldly life. And I said to her, and I'm saying it to you too, that we have to be role models. We have to show that humility. Humans are not everything. And when we become the role models, doing zikr ibadat in front of them, making our practices regular, drinking niyaz at home, doing small things to bring spirituality in their lives, playing ginans, zikr, praying for them, giving them duashes, small things, but it does bring change. Remember, children are like walking cameras. They may not respond to you right now, but they're looking at you very carefully. They're busy right now in their lives, but when they come across situations and they will recall, how did you seek Maula's help in your life to overcome the difficulty you had? They will automatically do the same thing. So the question would be, are we good role models for our children?
There's another question. It's not related to the topic you discussed. They're asking, how do you convince your children to pay the soon?
You cannot convince them. It's already too late if you are trying to convince. Again, very humbly, it is a practice which children have to see from childhood. Very humbly, I'll share a story of my mother teaching my children. They were in Pakistan and my mother would give them 1 rupee and then she'll give like 4 quarters. This is for your chips, because they would not sit in Jamaat Khana if they don't have any snack. Okay? So this quarter is for your chips. This is for your dua. This is for your dason. And this is for mehmani. And these children are young, 4 or 5 years old, when they are able to do dua themselves. Dason quarter, mehmani quarter, dua quarter. It becomes a habit that this is a must I got to do. You have started to work, this is your paycheck. The first thing you do is to pay the sond. This is a practice at home. That's why I said it is so important to be a role model. Keep it open in children's eye. What are your practices? If you're doing that, they're watching you all the time and they will learn what you do. If it has come to that stage of convincing them, it's a difficult situation. It is a difficult stage, I would say. I would say you don't talk to them, show it with your action. Why do you pay the son? And guide them to listen to lectures on benefits of the son. Help them read farmans about the son. And inshallah ta'ala, if they have faith in their heart, Maula's blessing is there, they will change. Do dua for them. Do zikr for them, praying for them. Today, I will say that we'll take your leave. Thank you so much, friends, for joining. Thank you to friends who are sharing all the references as we speak. Thank you so much. And Yali Madad to all. See you all next time. Yali Madad, Yali Madad.
Yani Madad.
Yali Madad.
Yani Madad.
NIAMAT